Come through, Queen. I wanna see ya. Come through, Queen.
Hi, everyone. It's Dan.
And Brendan.
And this is Come Through Queen.
Hi, Dan. Welcome
Hi,
back,
Dan.
scumbag.
Welcome back. I'm here.
You just said hi, Dan, by the way.
I know. It's like when I mouth what you're saying, but this time I actually said it.
Yeah.
And I think that just is a sign of how broken this brain is right now. So obviously I was away this past week. We really get into the meat of it in the pre-show of my journey and your journey as well.
Yeah.
Now, the intention was for me to be back in Lake Kirst on a Tuesday night.
Sure.
However, things don't always go as they plan, especially when you're cursed with the Kirst family.
Vacation curse.
Yeah. So Alex and I were stuck in Lisbon for an extra night with no luggage and the clothes on our backs. And I'm texting Brendan. I was like, we're just canceling this Queen's Come Through.
Right.
But things turned around. We had a nice lunch in Lisbon that I talk more about in the pre-show, and got to see a bonus city that I wasn't planning on. Got home last night after 10 o'clock. So there was no way I could watch 6 episodes of Bravo television in order to speak intelligently this week. However, 2 big items came about that we really needed to discuss this week. It would already be stale by next week.
Exactly. I did watch all the episodes, even though I was traveling and actually only arrived home at 7 o'clock this morning.
Well, I think the thing, right now for me, it is actually, I want to say 2 or 3 a.m. in my heart and mind and soul.
Sure.
So that's where I'm coming from. But we're going to do what we can. Let's start with this actually knocked the wind out of my sails a little bit during my trip, because I'm not watching the shows, but I'm getting dispatches. I'm getting this. I believe it was actually ERK who texted both of us. It's oh, you must have seen this already by now. And he was the one bringing it to my attention.
Okay. It was him. I was taking off to go to Palm Springs. On my free JetBlue Wi-Fi, I was getting an influx of text messages. So when he sent a voice memo, I was like, I can't listen to this right now, but is it about Shannon?
Yeah. So Shannon, a drunk driving hit and run incident in Newport.
Yeah, Newport Beach. That's where John Jansen lives. It was in John Jansen's neighborhood.
Okay. Yeah. So throughout the course of the week, we're kind of getting more and more information.
We know that she clipped a house.
Yes.
We know that Archie was in the car with her. We know that after she clipped the house, she drove away, parked her car in the middle of the streets.
Yes.
And then proceeded to get out of the car. And once the cops came, she was pretending that she was just on a walk with Archie.
Yeah. So that's where we started. And then video footage of the car in motion, hitting the house and then driving off came about.
And if you haven't seen the video, this is one of those neighborhoods where it's basically road, a little bit of sidewalk, and then house.
Okay, so I was shocked by this, because I think when I pictured when this was being described was we're going onto a lawn, hitting.
Yeah.
It makes a little bit more sense now as to what she thinks she was doing.
Sure, but the way she was driving in that neighborhood is so unwell.
Grand Theft Auto ENU as Dorinda Medley.
My mom lives in a similar kind of setup. She lives it could have been her neighborhood, but they've installed a ton of speed bumps, so this kind of thing doesn't happen.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you hear drunk, there's been several women across franchises who've been like arrested for drunk driving incidents.
Yeah, Sonia, Gina. There's been others.
And I don't think we usually have footage. So like I think there could be varying degrees of like what actually transpired.
Yeah.
This footage is like really worst case scenario.
Mm-hmm.
Like if there were people around, like someone very easily could have died.
Exactly. Like if it had been a little earlier in the evening, there probably would have been a ton of people around, you know?
Yeah.
And like we even saw photos and people like took videos from outside of the house, and there's like pieces of her car remaining in like the flower beds, and then like tons of oil from like, I guess the bottom of her car got hit.
Yeah. I mean, we have been discussing, I think, like over the course of the season and maybe even earlier, like Orange County does have like a heavy drinking situation. I think we were a little bit more focused on Tamara this year just because of her like fresh return.
Yeah, and it's the Tres Amigas whoop it up, like them insisting on shots, that type of thing.
Yeah.
But I mean, then we've also heard alleged stories about Shannon's relationship with John Jansen and kind of like how they go through the motions and they tend to go out and have a quote unquote good time and then have a disagreement. I mean, this is alleged, but my guess is that they had been hanging out at his house, had some drinks, and maybe had a disagreement. So she was like, I'm going to leave.
Okay, but now I'm bringing to your attention, which I'm assuming that you know about this, like the component of the story where she was at some restaurant or bar where Alexis Bellino was present.
Yeah.
And then she's like ranting and raving about Alexis Bellino.
Yeah, so I think the events were probably she was at that bar where Alexis Bellino was present. She went back to John Jansen's house and normally would have probably stayed there. Something happened, so she grabbed Archie because he was probably at the house, got into her car, and left.
That makes the Archie thing make a little bit more sense.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, which is crazy that like, okay, so the Alexis Bellino thing then really like stems into Jim Bellino and the lawsuit, which I think like has caused a lot of strife
in Shannon's life.
In her life and her brain.
Yeah, and Alexis, to her credit, did release a statement that was not nasty at all and just was like kind of clarifying that she had nothing to do with Jim Bellino's lawsuits and that she wishes Shannon well.
Yeah. So this is really sad and disturbing, and like when I like first heard it, I was like, it's hard to picture her coming back from this. Just like the details of it are like really bad.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, but then the other thing is like she needs the show.
Oh yeah.
Like she needs this. She's putting 3 people through college right now, obviously with help from her ex-husband or however. So she really does need the show. So I could see her wanting to do the redemption thing.
Yeah.
And come back. It's just like, it's so interesting given how the season ended, which you haven't seen, but
Yeah.
like, or it's not ended yet. Next week's
Yeah.
the finale.
Yeah.
But yeah, where we are.
And then just timing wise, because obviously people are wondering, like the reunion has been filmed, so this won't be addressed at all.
And I heard Bravo say that they're not going to get any sort of cameras up, which makes sense because there's not time left to like put any footage anywhere really.
Well, also, this is actually like similar to Drew and Ralph in a way, in terms of like, this is a legal situation where like, it's not like we're going to be like chit chatting. Like she should not say anything until her court case is resolved. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just like a horrible situation through and through.
Yeah. It's terrible.
And it's like the obvious thing is like, we live in a world where Ubers and taxis are very accessible.
Yeah.
Let's use them.
Let's use them. Especially like, you got the money for it, babe.
Exactly.
Okay. So that was like the big news item of the week, early week. And then?
So then the other things that was trickling out online were like these rumored cast lists for The Traitors season 2. And if y'all didn't watch Traitors season 1, the premise is all these. Season 1, it was half celebrities, half like normal people, all live in a mansion in Scotland together.
Play a game of Mafia.
Essentially. And Sari, who is now on Big Brother and was a Survivor legend, won that season. But like Brandi Glanville was on it last season, Kate Chastain was on it, Kyle Cook,
Father,
and others. So
Rachel Riley.
Yes, Rachel Riley. They announced this year that it was going to be all reality stars or like stars, basically.
Yeah.
And the cast lists that were rumored, actually, usually I hate these like rumors online because they're usually so far off. Like when we would watch like Celebrity Big Brother, the rumored cast lists were so far off. These rumored cast lists were actually pretty mixed.
And I feel like we might have like had an idea that some of it was correct. So it was like, it was feeling all correct when we would see it.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And as we record this episode today, like Alan Cumming's shooting on a horn, officially announcing this cast.
As this cast is flying to Scotland to actually participate. So it hasn't been filmed yet.
Yeah. So thankfully this happened this week because it would have been tough for us to put together a show with me not watching anything.
Sure, yeah.
But this is enough to really sink our teeth into, I would say.
Okay.
For, I would say, the greatest game of Care or Don't Care to ever be played in 8 years of Come Through Queen history.
Wow. Okay, shall we start?
We shall start.
So the first person on the list is Karsten Bergerson from Love Island, USA.
Okay. I don't know this person from Adam.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say don't care.
I'm going to say don't care either. I have never been in the Love Island world. I know there are Love Island devotees, though I think like people care more about Love Island UK.
Which I think we're going to get to in a minute.
Sure.
Yeah.
Chris CT Tamburello from, it says here The Challenge, but we all remember him first from The Real World.
Yeah, but like The Challenge is CT.
Sure.
Okay, this is like, now this is where we get into the conversation of, this is a place for legends.
Sure, yes.
To quote Geo Gunn.
Yeah.
And like, I haven't kept up with CT, and I know there's like more of a story arc with him on the show. Like, I think where we are with him right now is like, he became a good person.
Yeah.
Where he was like previously like
a dick.
Like beating people up on the show and getting like kicked off the show.
He was like a typical like Boston dick.
And then like Diem, who died, like made him a better person.
Yeah.
He is, when we talk about comp beast, like this is the comp beast.
Sure.
Which is interesting because like season 1 of Traitors, competitions actually don't matter. So I think this is a great part of this conversation to say like, we have an amazing cast. They better figure out like to make this an actual game this year. Cause like last year was like, we're like kind of playing a game.
And last year, all the competitions had been seen before because it was the same exact competitions from like the UK version, right?
I never watched UK, so I don't know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was like filmed on the same set, I think.
Yeah, no, yeah. But interestingly enough, I think we learned that US was filmed first.
Yeah.
But we all thought it was like UK filmed first because I think UK came out first, maybe?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So you care about CT, of course.
Of course. I used to see him when I lived in the North End of Boston. I would see him around all the time.
Shut
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
Wow. How have we not talked about that before? Wow.
I've mentioned it.
Okay, well, it's been so many things to talk about.
Okay, next is Dan Giesling from Big Brother.
A Big Brother legend.
A Big Brother legend.
The Dan Giesling funeral.
I mean, that is talked about to this day.
He is like one of the most important Big Brother winners of all time. We have not seen hide nor hair of him in a very long time.
And hasn't there always been like some conversation or rumors about like him never coming back to like a Big Brother
Yeah.
All-Stars?
Okay.
I think there's something there.
There's something there. So like, this is a big get.
Yeah.
Care.
Deontay Wilder, who's a boxer.
Okay. Now this is where I'm like, where did we get here?
Yeah.
like the cast is so in one direction, and then we have like a few outliers. It's like I missed this conversation last week on Winter House, but it's like we got Brian Benny, we got Below Deck here, we got this, and then there's like one woman who's from nothing. Like,
Exactly, yeah.
Like this boxer is like the man from nothing.
It is random.
Okay.
There's a couple of those though in this.
Okay, don't care.
Don't care. I'm gonna butcher this name, but Ekin Su
Okay.
from Love Island UK.
Okay, so like I'm gonna now change my tune from the first one, because like the first one, I have never even heard that name before. Ekin Su, I don't know who she is, but the girls were talking about her
The girls talk about her in a way. Yeah.
non-stop. The Long Island fans, the Love Island fans love Ekin Su. I know Ekin Su, I think, recently split from her Love Island partner, who I think was also a big deal.
Okay.
But with a name like Ekin Su, it's like, you're going places.
You gotta watch We Care.
We care.
Okay. Janelle, another Big Brother legend.
Janelle.
There's no one like her.
I mean, beautiful. Comp Beast.
Yes.
Remember when like she just kept winning, so they couldn't get rid of her? She either was like HOH
Yeah.
or the veto champion.
And like for us Big Brother fans, when she was back during the COVID season, the COVID All-Star season, she got voted out early and we were all mad. I stopped watching. I was like,
Yeah.
I'm not going to watch anymore without Janelle.
And then there was the famous fan cam set to exile like Taylor Swift with her and Kesar.
Yes. So we obviously care.
Could not care more.
Yeah. Okay.
I think we might have like I wish we pulled this up before. Didn't we do like a fan?
I definitely cast her in like a Patreon thing.
Yeah, I think we did like a
Yeah.
fan casting of season 2, and I think she was on it.
Yeah. Next is Johnny Bananas.
He was on it.
Yeah.
So care. I mean, like, so it's like CT, Johnny Bananas, the names and faces of the challenge.
Exactly.
It's like appointment television.
It's with a lot of these, it's like it feels like we're using a lot of legends from these shows like all at once.
Yeah.
When maybe we should spread some people out.
Yeah.
But whatever. Okay, this one is John Bercow from the UK Parliament.
Okay. So like, again, what are we doing here?
It's also just like random because this is Traitors US. So like if anything, it's
know.
like, why aren't we getting like a former Congress person from the US?
And like, I don't like, I try to like keep up with what's going on with the UK girls. I don't know
UK hun.
I don't know if he's a Tory, a Labour, a this or that. And I don't even know what those words mean.
I think he might be liberal. So like Labour. Tories are the conservative girls, the Tory Amoses.
But like, here's the thing: in the UK, I'm gonna sound so stupid. They have like 20 different like it's like it's almost
That's
like,
what makes UK politics so fun because it's like they're always switching up their prime minister.
no, it's like the Pokemon type chart where there's like you got fire, water, electric, grass.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah. Like here in the States, we just got 2.
It's exactly like the Pokemon.
That's exactly what-
I actually care just to see like a weird politician be on this show.
Well, it's like there must be a reason for the season. So like, if you're doing this, I probably should be caring.
Sure.
Right?
Okay, next up is Kevin Kreider from Bling Empire.
Okay. Bling Empire, not an amazing show, but I don't know if you even watched like a split second
I watched
of
like
it.
an episode.
Okay. So if you recall, he was like the hot guy who was like
Poor.
I'm poor, but he's not actually poor.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like always great to have a hot. I'm gonna care.
I don't care yet, but we'll see.
Okay.
Okay. Larsa Pippen.
Now, Miss Ma'am. Like, it's like this casting director picked some of the like the greatest minds and bodies and competition beasts of all time.
Exactly. Larsa Pippen is all of those.
Larsa Pippen with her Kim Kardashian, to quote RHONY, her Kim Kardashian ass. What are you doing here?
Well, I do want to say, I'm going to say the next person because I do think it justifies it.
Okay.
She's coming with Marcus Jordan, her boyfriend.
So I think like we're at a space and time right now where it's like, what is Marcus Jordan's role in season 5 of Miami? 6.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's his role? Is he showing up there? So like, are we saving face for this? Is he now showing face because he's like, oh, I'm on a competition show rather than like the girl's girlin'?
Yeah. I like it as a twist, and especially because like, how will people act with them together? Obviously, they're a public couple, so they can't hide. Like, Jared and Suri. Not that Jared and Suri are a couple, obviously. But
One of the greatest couples.
but it'll be interesting to see just like gameplay with the two of them.
Okay, but here's the thing. Larsa, like, can barely read. No, we know this to be true when she was reading the mirror that Dr. Nicole sent her.
Sure, yeah, okay.
Like, it's hard to picture her, like, exerting herself
Sure.
for a challenge.
But like, think back to last season. That doesn't always matter. I mean, like, one of the funniest thing was Kate kicking those barrels like away from people.
I know. So, but also like, I don't know. It's hard to imagine her caring, is what I'm saying.
Sure. I mean, a check's a check, bitch.
But okay, so, but I'm going to say at the end of the day, I do care because it's like when we learned Larsa was going to be in Miami, I was like, I don't care. And then I was surprised to find out that I actually do care.
Okay. So you're sending mixed signals.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's okay.
Let's move on to Maxim Shermovsky from Dancing with the Stars.
So like, kind of like a lot of these picks, if you're going to get someone, you get the big dog.
Yeah, and he's like the biggest dog.
He's like the big, it's like
him and Huff.
It's like, if you're not going to get a Huff,
Yeah.
you get Maxim.
Yeah. So I care.
I care.
Okay. Mercedes MJ Javid from Shaws of Sunset. A chump, by the way.
A chump.
Yeah.
So it's great to have chump representation. Like a nod to Reza's flop first season on Traitors.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I am not a Shaw girl, but she is so weird and such a mess from when I watch her on Watch What Happens Live that like I actually do care.
I care too. I feel like she will try to make a lot of friends really quickly and maybe flop. Do you remember when she showed up to like the Bitch Sesh charity shopping event?
Like masked up, and then like Casey Rose Wilson like learned hours into the event that MJ is there. Oh my god.
Okay, so
Care.
Okay, care. Parvati Shallow.
Okay.
From Survivor. So obviously we're not Survivor girlies, but we have been in touch with the experts, and I mean we already knew that we should care, just from like being gay and listening to things.
Oh yeah.
Gay people love Parvati.
Oh yeah.
And we got the download from Evan Ross Katz today, all about why we should care.
Well, there was a lot of interesting information here. Number one, she was most recently on season 40 of Survivor. And then prior to that, she was on season 20. That's half. So it's like, are you kidding me?
I love you pretending to be an expert, but just like...
No. Okay, so then here's the other thing. What's the other Survivor girlie's name? Sandra something?
Sandra Diaz Twine.
Okay, so...
Sandra D. I wonder if they call her that.
Sandra D, we learn from Evan, thankfully. He's like, oh, no, you don't understand. These girls competed together. So, like, I like when it's like we got history rather than just like, here's one Survivor girl, here's another Survivor girl. Like,
exactly.
Make sense of it.
Yeah. So, obviously, we care about both of them. Let's go to the next one. Peppermint.
Wow.
Maybe the person I care about the most on this list.
Care. Finally, we'll get the fourth crown from season 9. We've got Sasha Velour. We've got Trinity the Tuck. We've got Shea Coulee, all with their crowns. The one crown missing, Miss Pep.
Yeah, so hopefully this gives Miss Pep her crown.
Now-
And she also will be like fun and like comic relief.
Great confessional.
Yes.
Now, complaint doesn't detract from Pep at all, but like, let's get 2 drag girls.
Sure.
Like, it just feels so out of like left field. It's not even an NBCU property.
I know. It's interesting that most of these are actually from the Paramount world.
Survivor Big Brother.
Yeah.
What is going on?
I don't know.
I don't know.
But
Care.
going to the Disney world,
Disney.
Peter Weber, who I think is known as Pilot Pete from The Bachelor.
Okay. I'm going to say not care, but that one little Bachelor boy surprised me last year.
Ari?
Yeah, Ari.
Yeah. Even though Ari, I think, is famously a villain in real life. Or like on The Bachelor.
Okay, but like, you need your villains. We're not playing patty cake.
Sure. You love to remind people. Okay. Now let's go to Phaedra Parks, Real Housewives of Atlanta, Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip, and Married to Medicine.
Ross of Dubai.
Yes, guest star.
2 seasons of Ultimate Girls Trip. So like, if NBCU is going to do one thing, it's ship Phaedra Parks off somewhere.
And this is also like people calling about cancel culture. It's like, obviously not.
She's bounced back
Yeah.
harder than ever.
She could go far on this show because she's a liar face.
She got the girls running around.
Yeah.
Talking about all these allegations against Candy.
Yeah.
For a whole season. And then we learned about it at the reunion.
Yeah.
Care.
Speaking of that reunion, Sheree Whitfield. I mean, just for the comedy of her not knowing what's going to be going on this entire season.
Well, is she gonna last an entire season?
Well, I mean, the thing is, you never know with these kind of shows.
Yeah, yeah.
You never know who's going to be targeted. Like the smart people will target CT, Janelle, like all the like Parvati, like and keep someone like Sheree around.
Yeah, Sheree's just so stupid. It's hard picturing her like wrapping her head around the rules.
Exactly. Which I love.
Okay. I'm going to give a care, obviously, because like as a housewife, I gotta care, but I'm not loving 2 from 1. I'm not loving 2 from
2
Atlanta.
from 1 franchise.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, though, I mean, like, you are loving Parvati and Sandra D from the same season of Survivor.
Oh, yeah, but that...
History, baby.
But that's different because they're not, like, annualized shows. Like,
Sure.
I think they were on, like, separate seasons of Survivor, then they happened to be on the same season of Survivor.
So speaking of that, and I think this is interesting, Tamara Judge from OC has been on Ultimate Girls Trip with Phaedra.
I forgot about that.
Yeah. Use your brain.
So, like, who's Phaedra going to align with, Tamara or Sheree?
I mean...
if she knows what's good for her, I'd say Tamara.
Yeah. So the thing about Tamara is that she's going to try to play hard, but I also think there's a part of her that also won't get the rules.
I don't think maybe. But, like, I feel like Tamara... Okay, number 1, I feel like we might have cast her in our fantasy casting.
Maybe.
Number 2, like, Tamara's made for, if Bravo were to do, like, the challenge,
Yeah.
she would be, like, the CT Johnny Bananas.
Yeah, but the brain trust isn't there enough. I listen to enough 2Ts in the pod to know that she can sometimes be a little dizzy.
Okay, sure. Yeah. But, like, but she's smart enough to, like... produce and worm her way. That's not...
After watching her on this most recent season of OC, she thinks she's smart enough to produce and worm her way and come out on top. But I mean...
But then struggled her way back into hanging out with Heather post-reunion.
Yeah, but I mean, like, where we are now, which you haven't seen yet,
yeah.
it's the girls are... The Heather stands are jumping out because of Tamara's actions.
Okay. I care.
I care, of course I care.
All right.
And then last but not least, of course, is Trishelle from Real World Las Vegas.
Care so much.
Changed the course of reality TV in a lot of ways, I would say.
Yeah.
Reality TV became a little more saucy when she entered the scene.
When she entered the scene, yes. She also like had a few good seasons on The Challenge.
Mm-hmm.
Is also beautiful.
Yeah. You know who loves her?
Andy.
I
know.
Yeah.
I wonder if like he threw her name into the conversation.
Maybe. Well, he tried to get John Hill cast. Which probably wouldn't make sense with this cast because love John Hill.
Yeah.
But like he's just not in this like reality situation.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. I would love to touch down on just like a few names that we had seen but did not make the cut.
Sure. Some of the rumored names.
Real World Beth. That would have been television.
Yeah, she was a highlight of the LA Homecoming, which was kind of like the flop season of Homecoming.
Yeah. Sheena Marie. Now that would have been comedy.
That would have been a dizzy person.
That would have been
around.
someone like not even knowing up from down, left from right. Yeah. Right? That would have been so much fun. And for me,
but she like Sheena Marie would have made like best friends with like Johnny Bananas, and she would have been like, Johnny's been my best friend.
Yeah. We were my best friend. Carry me to the end.
Yeah.
I believe we had a doctor in the house.
From Married to Med.
To Married to Med, which I would have like liked that in order to like suck me into the Married to Med world a little bit.
And I think like to your point, we are heavy on Housewives, and I would have liked other people from other Bravo shows.
Well, I think that brings me to my biggest sadness, which was like Hubhouse, Lindsay Hubbard was like on everybody's list.
Sure.
And I think like it's been confirmed that like she was approached for it, but then didn't sign on.
Who confirmed this?
Stop. But it actually like doesn't make sense because number one, she was supposed to be getting married next month.
Yeah.
Number two, and we're going to touch on this later, she had her bachelorette scheduled like
for
as
now.
This is filming.
Yeah.
So like the puzzle pieces are not all aligning.
Sure.
But like she would have really carried the Kyle Cook torch, I would say.
Well, season 3 maybe.
Season 3.
Her and Heather Dubrow.
And then I was also wondering like for someone that's like going to be so story heavy, if she were to have appeared on this fresh off of the breakup, like when is Traitors season 2 airing?
Sure.
Because it felt like Traitors season 1 filmed like a year before it aired.
Yeah, but then remember when they like really rushed that reunion? So I feel
now
like
we're rushing.
we can rush some production here.
So then I wonder like, is that why we don't have Sheena? We don't have Lindsay because like they have other things that need to air first, and that's not going to come out till 2024. Like timeline wise,
Maybe.
I
don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I wonder, is Traitors a part of like the BravoCon universe?
No.
Okay.
Right?
I don't know. I mean, Andy hosts the reunion.
Yeah. But that was like last minute.
A bunch of them are Bravo people.
Yeah. Oh, but like, okay. I don't think these people will be involved in BravoCon because like the show will not have aired yet.
Well, not these people, but like last year's.
But they're not on the list. If you're not on the list, you're not getting in.
The list, I feel like, is ever changing.
Okay. So, I have not watched anything. Welcome to Comfort Queen. But why don't I give my version of what I think is happening based off of previews and clips and what the girls are talking about, and then you tell me if it's right and like where we're at, right?
Okay.
Just so we could like catch up a little bit in time for next week, I guess.
Sure, yeah.
So I'm not like discussing 3 episodes and
yeah, I would not allow that.
Yeah,
I'm not going back in the past that way.
Of course not. Okay, New York. And New York is a story about 6 women picked to go on a vacation together who don't know each other. And we're going to get in a fight. Oh, there's a few reasons we're getting in a fight.
Sure.
We don't like when we talk about ourselves.
No.
Oh, we do like when we talk about ourselves.
You can only talk about yourself in a way that is approved by Cy and Aaron. So yeah, you can't tell a story about your family and maybe like how your parents came to exist in London, because that's not talking about yourself necessarily.
Oh, right.
It's only...
It's a degree too far.
Yeah. But like...
Cy's talking about her family in Hamptons.
Exactly.
Makes you feel sick.
There's like a double standard, because then Jessel's like constantly telling stories about herself. Like, and I won't like spoil anything, but she tells like, I mean, we know about the popsicle thing. She tells a similar like weird, embarrassing story later this episode, but nothing's ever good enough. It has to be approved by Cy and Aaron.
So like, why are they best friends right now?
They're like taking on the others, I guess, in a way.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so now I know. Aaron confiscated Uba's phone for an hour?
So yeah, they were coming back. They were coming back from some dinner, and the night before, Uba had pushed Aaron into the pool. So Uba has been joking all day about like, when is Aaron gonna get her revenge on me? And Aaron's like, it's okay, no skin off my back. Like, my family's like the prank family. Oh. So they're getting out of the car to go back into the house after having dinner, and Uba had left her phone behind in the car, so the driver gives it to Aaron, and Aaron decides to hide it to get her revenge on Uba.
So Uba just thinks it's lost. She doesn't know Aaron has it.
She's looking all around the house for the phone.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then I think either Jessel or Cy got wind of Aaron having the phone, and so they like let her know. And then Uba's really mad because her thing is she's a single woman, and her parents always want her to check in with them on the end of the night so that they know she's safe and that type of thing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. And then like the next morning, Uba's mad.
Uba's mad and
Uba hot.
Yes, and she takes Aaron's sunglasses for 45 minutes because that's how long her phone was gone.
I love the reciprocal confiscation.
But also, like, Aaron's using, like, really dog whistly language when talking about, like, she's, like, calling, like, Uba scary and, like, all this other kind of shit.
Oh, my God. And like, you know what? You know who made no buzz this week for me? Jenna Lyons.
She's there. She wore a really chic white dress to dinner.
There's a good sale on J.Crew right now. 60% off sale styles.
Thank you, Jenna.
Oh, my God.
I will say, Jenna had some really good, chic, new confessional looks. Yeah.
Okay. Are we, end of episode, are we still in Anguilla?
Yeah, but I think we're going home soon.
We're wrapping up. Okay.
Or, it's hard to say because I think there was a preview released after the episode aired, and they go to a rum tasting thing, and I think the fight goes on from there. They released like an 11-minute preview that I watched, or something.
Yeah. Who? I'm trying to think. All right, Cy, Aaron, Uba,
Bryn.
Jenna. Yeah, what's Bryn doing?
One night she stayed home from dinner after her like thing with her disagreement with Aaron. They were still fighting about like the same old shit.
Fighting about what?
But they made up.
Fighting about the husband?
Yeah, but they made up, and then she decided just to like have a chill night at home, which is like, what are you doing?
I don't think.
And
that's
she's
allowed.
doing well. I guess she can wear whatever baseball hat she wants and sit at the house. And then she's doing a whole like bit with Jenna during these episodes where she's like trying to be wifey. So she's like bringing her breakfast in bed. Then she's like hitting on her on the boat that they go on.
I feel like the vibe is good on Bryn right now, but from what you're telling me, it's like not selling me. Are you feeling good on her?
She's fine. She's not bugging me. She's fun. Like she's funny sometimes.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, it's Jessel and Jenna for the win.
Okay.
J&J.
What's next chronologically? Salt Lake City. Okay, Salt Lake City. This is the vibe I'm getting.
Okay.
The vibe I'm getting is like these 2 episodes I missed are actually like the most important episodes of television.
Yeah, I would say the one that aired this week is actually one of the best episodes of Salt Lake City to ever exist.
Oh my God, I'm so sad I have not seen
And
this.
everyone's like talking about how we never needed Jen Shaw, and it's actually great she's gone
Oh,
because
Jen Shaw was like a weight on our shoulders.
yeah, the other characters are really coming in. I mean, Meredith is the moment.
Okay, so now here's my vibe on Meredith. Meredith, we're speaking in tongues.
Yeah.
We're like going through accents.
Yeah.
From what I understand.
Doing a lot of accent work.
I see her screaming at someone. I couldn't tell you if it's Angie K or Monica.
It's Angie K.
Okay, it's Angie K.
And actually, Monica's defending Meredith against Angie K.
And then I don't know what Angie K, who is so boring, could have done.
It's like showing up on this trip. And then Meredith also has this side, you know how she's always talking, and it's been a theme of hers throughout the seasons. Like she's always got something heavy on her mind that has nothing to do with
There's
what's
a
going
friend.
on. Yeah, but she's not really articulating that.
But she's speaking in code. She's
Yes.
there's no coming back from this.
Yes. And
It's a long road I'm going down.
Yes, this dinner happened steps away from where I slept in Palm Springs at Copley's. It's right across the street from where my hotel was.
So did you hear them screaming?
Yeah, because
It's
they
a
filmed
lie.
it live. Meredith was grabbing waiters, thinking they were security who could kick Angie out.
Oh my God. I loved seeing those clips.
I know.
I'm really piecing the puzzle pieces together.
Yeah.
Okay, we're kicking someone out. Don't know who we're kicking out.
Yeah. One thing that wasn't in the clips, and if you watch the clips and you realize these women are all dressed so weird. So right before they go to dinner,
We have a prompt.
it's a prompt.
Okay.
They are paired with the person that they need to do the most growth with to all go to these two shops in downtown Palm Springs. One was Marianne's, which I remember walking by, and they have to pick out each other's outfits. And so and then Angie K gets just to pick her own out because she has no partner. So the most egregious one was
Little Girl and Mary?
No. So Mary and Monica were paired together, and they were
Why?
because they don't really.
The leftovers.
The more important relationship is Heather and Little Girl, obviously.
Oh.
So they had to dress each other, and then Heather dresses Little Girl as Kate Middleton, and then Little Girl dresses Heather up in this weird bomber jacket
With a baseball cap?
and then
And we're all puking.
yeah, well, we'll get to that. And then Lisa Barlow dresses up Meredith in this really chic yellow dress.
Oh my God, she's never looked chicer.
And then Meredith dresses Lisa Barlow up in this basically a bikini with this sheer cover up that doesn't even go down beyond her thighs. And this is when Lisa finds out they're walking into a 5-star restaurant that used to be. It's Cary Grant's former estate.
And then also Lisa is down $60,000. And everyone's angry at her for being upset about it.
Yeah. Monica's as a single mother, you talking about this ring is really triggering to me.
Okay, I never expected, remember before the season aired, I was I was adding Trixie. I was like, Mother, are you appearing on?
Yeah.
Never did I expect this is an advertisement.
The entire thing. If you watch the scenes too, one of the people who is constantly waiting on them is Trixie's husband, David. If you watch Trixie Motel, the TV series.
I have not seen that yet. Oh, that is so important. This is important television.
It's great.
Mary's being crazy.
Mary just rejecting everyone. They're all eating food around the pool, and Angie K is Mary, come over here, girl, and sit with us. And Mary's don't talk to me like that. I'm gonna sit over here.
This is famously Mary's first cast trip.
I know.
4 seasons in as a friend.
I know. And at the dinner, she's actually one of the more sane ones. The way Meredith popped off is gonna be written about in history books. And then Heather during that dinner
Is blackout drunk.
is drinking espresso martinis.
Oh,
Like,
which we can relate to.
it's her last night on Earth. I mean, like, I can have 2 martinis tops. She had 5 at that dinner.
But okay, I don't think you only
And
had.
they
I'm
had
sorry,
been drinking before.
I'm sorry. I don't think you only had 2 espresso martinis at Trang's wedding.
Uh,
There's no way you only had 2 espresso martinis. Those were going down like dessert.
I think I only had 2 and then moved on to something else.
Okay.
No, but
Maybe I'm just projecting.
maybe. That was like 2018. How am I supposed to remember? But they had been like drinking before too.
Okay.
So they're rolling into this whatever. And then this is the sin that she committed. She can like barely, so they're in the sprinter van.
Oh.
They're like, she's like, just like head between her legs, and Mary and Whitney are fighting because Mary's claiming that Whitney called her a pornographer.
I saw the pornographer.
And then Mary's like, what's the word? What's the word? And then Heather just goes up like fucking Frankenstein predator.
Okay, I've seen like clips or gifs or and I'm like, I don't even understand, but you're making this all make sense to me now.
Yeah, and then that's where we arrive back at the hotel, and everyone but Whitney and Heather leave the sprinter. And
there's drivers running around.
But okay, Heather, I don't understand, because when I feel sick, the one thing I want is air. She requests for the door to the sprinter to be closed. And she starts vomiting, and then Whitney is locked in there with her while she's vomiting, yelling at the driver to come open the door.
Truly a horror movie.
It was great.
Wow, I'm so sad.
And some people are theorizing she was both vomiting and peeing her pants.
Stop. Okay, all right. That's Salt Lake City.
Yeah, that's Salt Lake.
OC. Now, this is my version of OC. Okay, we're in Mexico. We're shipping Vicky in because I think like we ended the last episode I saw, like the preview was the Vicky horror scream.
Yeah, so Vicky's been with us for 2 episodes now,
yeah.
full episodes.
And now I think the story is everyone is okay. The story is, you know, in Yellow Jackets when like they're chasing after the girl who needs to be killed, like Heather's the girl that needs to be killed.
Yeah,
but Heather is like Wonder Woman, like bracelet,
Yeah.
belt, like deflecting everything.
Yeah.
And like no one can kill her.
yeah,
And then the other story is Tamara's continuing like the sacrificial lamb story of like presenting Jen Pedranti onto the altar for sacrifice.
yes.
And Jen's fighting for her life.
So that is all happening.
Okay, great.
For sure. With Heather, it is this thing where now they're talking about, this is the rumor. Remember, there was a rumor that Shannon said really bad things about Emily and Gina at BravoCon to Heather.
Yes.
So Heather now is like, she finally figured out what everyone's talking about. She's like, actually, that was Tamra who was saying shit to me. And then Tamra's claiming she was repeating what Heather said jokingly, calling like her castmates losers. And what the gag was,
She called
Noella and Dr. Jen were the losers that Heather was referring to. Noella is somewhere looking like Kathy Wakili getting insulted at that one reunion when Heather said, "Oh no, actually, he was talking about Kathy." Yeah.
Noella catching strays.
It is.
Not getting paid.
It's wild. And Heather is like gonna become the champion of this season. The preview for next week also looks wild.
For the finale.
Yeah. And Gina is like
Down bad.
Real down bad. She somehow hitched her wagon to Tamra and thinks it's a good idea.
Okay.
And Tamra, I haven't seen her with that like early season straight hair in a while.
Oh.
And I was like, oh, that's evil Tamra.
Okay. And we're having fun with Vicky.
Vicky, during the Heather wannabe takedown, leaves the table.
Oh.
And she goes and apologizes to the waitstaff for everyone yelling.
But there was also like a Vicky funny moment, I think.
We're having fun with Vicky
We're
in a
having
lot of
fun.
ways.
Oh,
like
yeah.
she goes parasailing with Heather, and she's like holding on to Heather's hand so hard that Heather's losing circulation. We're having fun.
Is Taylor bringing anything to the table?
She kind of tried to become an ally-ish with Heather.
Oh.
Because they were literally like, there was a Sprinter van ride where they were all coming for Heather.
Yeah.
And Heather was like, I kind of want to leave this vacation.
Yeah.
And Taylor tries to like comfort her. But in the preview for next week, it looks like Taylor's back on the anti-Heather train.
What? Like, this has been a surprise. I would say this is the best season since we called City of Hope.
Yeah. But it's like when we were calling City of Hope, that could get a little too dark at points.
Oh,
this
yeah,
has
of
been
course.
like easy breezy above the belt fun.
Light and beautiful. Yeah.
Except for like them attacking Jen at every second.
Yeah.
Though like she's so beautiful. I was looking at her and I was like, wow. And it seems like her and Heather have become close since the season wrapped.
Oh, yeah. She's a little, to take it back to Traitors, a little Janellian. Do you see it?
I see it.
Let's do a Freak of the Week and the One True Queen.
Okay.
Our Freak of the Week this week, something that like Bethany re-upped and brought to our attention.
Yes.
She performed stand-up comedy about 2 years ago at this point.
2021.
And
She like claims she got like help from like Chris Rock.
stop.
That's what she said.
And she posted it online. And it's like talking about Kelly Kalor and Ben Simone's friend Gwyneth
Yeah,
in a
like
very negative light.
making jokes about Goop.
Making jokes about Goop, making jokes about the vagina candle, which I feel like at this point, like, wasn't this years old?
Yeah.
But it's just like interesting seeing a pre-TikTok Bethany
Try to make it in the world.
trying to like get attention. Like, she is so starved for attention from any direction she could get it.
It's like you should have never left Housewives, babe.
Yeah, like it just goes to show like money isn't enough.
For me, if I had her amount of money,
Yeah.
I would go away. I would tweet maybe about like Housewives every once in a while.
Yeah.
But I'm not getting on TikTok doing front facing work.
You're not rewiving.
Yeah, I'm not getting on stage at the Comedy Cellar or whatever.
I mean that it's a tough 2-minute set that we're watching.
Yeah, I also, a little bit of credit. I think it wouldn't have gone viral without Yolanda Pfister.
Oh, yeah.
Really bringing it out.
I mean, whenever like Yolanda puts her touch on it, that's when we know it's important.
Exactly.
Okay, our One True Queen, someone who should have been on
Traitors.
One, Lindsay Hubbard.
She is off to the Bahamas.
En route.
Yeah. Quoting Michelle Obama.
When they go low, we go high. It's like really, actually, like it's making me question: is she the one True Queen? So stupid.
Apparently off to what would have been her bachelorette party.
Yeah.
Do you think Danielle is there?
Yes. Because it feels like they were good during the summer. So it's like, how do we not invite you to the bachelorette party if we're good during the summer?
Yeah, but to
then-
your point though, when Hub House was going through the worst of it, Danielle was partying in Montauk.
Danielle could not be stopped. She's like,
This is the best weekend of my life.
she's like, this is a summer I'm always going to remember. I'm like, babe, your girl is drowning.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Wow. But also we're getting this week like the first twinge of like, is there any fault to be placed on Lindsay for the situation? Did you see that?
What was the twinge?
It was like, oh, like there's more to it. Like Lindsay was saying really inappropriate things to Carl. The drinking and the fighting was really bad. So like, I don't know. I'm just like so far behind. I don't even know like up from down from left. I mean, the wedding cancellation and then her response to not being a part of the wedding cancellation thing came out last week.
Yeah, she released her statement.
The Winter House was last
Oh
week.
my God, you're living in the past.
I know. It's just like there's just so much going on right now. Wow.
You need to get some sleep.
Yo.
You have got 6 episodes to catch up on.
And then 6 episodes of Big Brother to catch up on, which is like,
I think you can just start with Big Brother like on tonight's episode.
well, oh yeah, I'm gonna watch the double eviction tonight and then go back in time.
Oh, with Big Brother, it's like you got to cut and run.
No,
you can't
no.
look back. There's enough recapping that they do.
I know.
You're
but
crazy to go back.
I just like don't want to miss a minute of Miss Felicia.
Okay.
That is mother to me.
Okay.
And with that, just head on over to comethroughqueen.com. There's links to Patreon where we have, I would say, a pre-show to end all pre-shows this week. A nice 25-minute long one, I want to say.
We recount our struggles traveling through this world.
Our struggles traveling through this world. Books, movies, travels. It's
Italy, Palm Springs.
It's very Lisbon. It's a very unconventional pre-show, one might say.
Sure.
And just like, comment, subscribe, heart, share, retweet.
Love us, please,
See you next week. Bye.
I wanna see ya come through, Queen.